This is going to be a video about scout padding. So, this one guy over here, I'm going to call that group 0. The guy underneath the dot, he's going to be group 1. The guy that is directly getting cut through by the 20-meter line, that and is the one I'm looking at. That guy is going to be group number 2. The one that's the farthest out and is crossing the 20-meter, that's going to be group number 3. The scout likes to path from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, then from 3 to 1, and then down to 0, and then from 0, 1, 2, 3, and from 3, go to 0. 1, 0. So when the scout is moving from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, I'm going to say the scout is moving up. When the scout is moving from 3 to 2, from 3 to 1 to 0, I'm going to say the scout is moving down. The scout is given about 20 seconds to reach its target. If it does not get to its target within 20 seconds, it picks a random target. The thing to note is that whether it is moving up or down, it retains that information. So the scout is moving to 1. Should stop in a second here. Okay, never mind. Changed its mind and it timed out. Scout timed out. That was the scout stopping. The scout got to its target of 0. Now it's going from 0 to 1. That was it stopping, it got to its target. Now it's going to be moving to group number 2. From watching it for a while, it doesn't always make it to number 2, and it typically likes to time out. But I guess it didn't want to time out there. So, I don't know why I went from 3 to 2. It probably, oh, it did time out. It chose 3. It went from 3 to 2, then 2 to 3. My timer was off, and now it's going from 3 to 1. That was it timing out. Scout timed out again. So when the scout times out, it does not stop the same way it does when it finishes going to one of the groups. So it just got to a group, So now it's going from 1 to 0. And so, like I said before, it retained that it kept going down, even though it went to random positions. It got to its target, going from 0 to 1. Got to its target, going from 1 to 2. Fun fact, the Scout does not tendril if you block the path to it. So if a door is closed, it will not go towards you. It probably just timed out. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing right this second. Okay, so it went to... Okay, it's going 3, 2, and then from 2 it's going to go to 3, and then from 3 it's going to go to 1. Okay, it probably timed out somewhere in there, and that's why it did not stop. And so it's random pathing to 0. Yep, that was a timeout. So it did not make it to 0. If it's going to 1 here, it's gonna, yep, go back to 0. That counts as path complete. Whoops. Okay, that's a path complete. So what happens is, when it's going from 0 to 1, it stops early on the 1 group, so it takes a little bit longer to go from 1 to 2 in that scenario, and it will generally time out. But if it times out here, like it just did, and it decides to go back to 1, and then from 1 it goes to 2, then it will be able to make it, because it has an extra little head start, I guess. Okay, so, like I said, it has a head start now. So it's going to make it from 1 to 2. And then from 2, it's going to move to 3, and then 3 back down to 1, hoping that we don't time out anywhere in there. That was the Scout getting to the target. It got it again. Okay, it's gonna time out. Okay, it timed out, but it didn't stop. I don't know where it's going. Okay, it decided to go to 1, so from 1 it's gonna go to 0. And from 0 it's gonna go back to 1. And we're just gonna continue on our merry way like that. Okay, Scout got to 1, now it's going to 2. Scout's probably going to time out. Okay, I assume it timed out, and yeah, it's heading towards 3. It's probably going to head from 3 to 2. Yep. And then from 2 to 3, and then from 3 to 1. I'm unsure why sometimes when it randomly paths to 3, that it decides to basically disobey which like direction it's going, whether it's going up or down. Scout timed out, heading back to 3. When it makes it to 3, it's gonna try and make it back to 1 again. Probably time out here again. It timed out. So it's going to go to 3, and then from 3 it's going to try to go to 1 again. So when it times out, it genuinely is random which one it decides to go to. Okay, it's deciding to go to number 2 here. From number 2, it will probably try to go to number 1. I was wrong. And then it's going to try and go from 3 to 1 again. To 0, and then from 0 to 1, and then it's going to go from 1 to attempt to do 2. So it's going to try and make its way over to 2. In the case that it will most likely time out, I have zero clue where it's going to try and go after that. It's probably heading back towards 1, but it could also be heading towards 0. I don't know. It has to take the same staircase to get to both of them. It looks like it tried to go to 1, and now it's going to attempt to go from 1 to 2 again, because it's going to continue trying to go up. So it timed out, it's going to 3. From 3 it's probably going to 2, yep. And then from 2 it's going to go to 3 again, and then from 3 it's going to go to 1. It will probably time out, because the length of it here. timed out somewhere in there. Is it going to 1? Yep, it was going to 1. From 1 goes to 0. The 0 back up to 1. 1, it's going to attempt to make its way towards 2 again. That's interesting. I have not seen this behavior yet. It might have timed out somewhere in there. Okay. It will probably not do the same thing again and go to 1 and then from 1 to 2. So it made it to 1, now it's going to attempt to make its way over to 2, and then probably time out, like it normally does. Yep, timed out. Probably making its way back to 1, but it could also be trying to go to 0. Yep, it went to 1. Now it's going to attempt to make its way back to 2 again, because it continues to try and go up. Okay, it probably timed out, trying to make its way towards 3. Okay, from 3 it's going to go to 2. 2 is going to go back to 3. 3 is going to try and make its way back to 1. Probably timed out right there. I don't know if it's trying to go towards 1 or 0. Okay, it looked like it was going towards 1. Continues going down. Made it to 0, now going to 1, and then from 1 to 2. So again, probably going to time out. I have zero clue where it'll try and go after that. Okay, it probably timed out. It's trying to make its way towards 3 now. From 3 it's going to go to 2. From 2 it's going to go to 3. From 3 it's going to go to 1. So from 3 to 1 it's probably going to time out. I have zero clue where it's going to try to go after that. Okay, it timed out. Looks like it's going back to 2. From 2, it will... I'm not sure if it's going to go towards 1 or 3, because sometimes it goes towards 3, other times it decides to continue going down. I guess it did not want to continue going down, so it made its way up to 3. And now it's going to go and continue trying to go down from 3 to 1. And then most likely time out. And I have zero clue which it's going to try and go after that. Okay, it has probably timed out. It looks like it's trying to go to 0. It will probably time out because it's too far. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll see. That was a timeout. I have zero clue where it's going to try and go. Okay, it tried to go to 1. Now it's going to continue going down from 1 to 0. From 0 it's going to go to 1. From 1 it's going to try and make its way towards 2. Okay, it made it up to 1. Now it's going to try and make its way towards 2. Okay, it made it up to 2. Now it's going to make it to 3. And it probably timed out from its way from 1 to 2. But it just chose to continue on to number 2. From 3 it's going to go to 1. And most likely time out. And I don't know where it's going to go from there. Okay, it decided to go back to 2. It's going to make its way to 2, and then from 2 it will probably go to 3, and then from 3 back to 1. Okay, it timed out. It's going to go to 2, and then from 2 it's going to go to 3, and then from 3 it's going to attempt to go to 1. Of course it decides to go back to 2. Oh no, it's going to 3. Okay. It's probably going to go from 3 to 2, from 2 to 3, and then 3 to 1. That's my guess. But I'm not sure if it's going to go from 3 to 2 or 3 to 1. Okay, it continued to try and go down. There's certain things that I'm unsure of, the way it likes to behave at certain times, but most of the time you can predict what the scout is trying to do. Okay, decided to go back that way again. Well, I think this is a good point to stop the video. As you can see, you can predict the scout most of the time. Sometimes it's not predictable, just because it decides to go to a random position after it times out, and then its behavior with going up and down around 2 and 3 is usually a little confusing. but thank you for watching. And this has been Dog Pet Kid watching scouts for the last 25 minutes. But I've probably been watching them for an hour now, or more. I don't know. I've lost track of time.